My name is Christina C. Jones, and I am here today to just completely eat my words. Alright, so on one of those Vlogmas episodes, one of you guys had asked me why, or had asked me why I didn't write married couples, or if I would consider writing married couples. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I get too deep in my feelings, and blah 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 blah. And don't get me wrong, it's not that any of that has changed. Denver and Kenza writing their story has not changed any of that. But it has highlighted for me why I don't like doing it. Completely highlighted for me why I don't like doing it. But I had always said that I wouldn't do it. That's not true. So I guess I don't have to eat my words, because I never framed it as something that I wouldn't do. I framed it as hoping that those characters wouldn't come to me, and lo and behold, here I am with the first release of the year. Something that I very clearly told my brain I did not want to do, and yet here we are. So, of course, you've guessed by now that these are my pre-release thoughts. And if you've got really good eyes from watching that little video that I just shared, you saw me building the release dates promotion image that I'm going to be posting on my social media. I haven't done it yet at the time of filming this video, but by the time you guys actually see this video, it'll probably already be posted. But you'll see today is a Friday. Today is Friday, January 22nd. I'm going to be releasing maybe next time on Friday, January 29th. So we got just about a week. I've got it. It's finished. It's wrapped up. Actually, just right before I started recording, I actually just got an email from my editor with the doc. And so I'm going to go through that. I've got to do my formatting and all of that. But this is part of, remember, if you watch my goals video, you remember me talking about wanting to just kind of slow down more, take my time, do things with a proper sort of order to them, more than just the vibes I've been running on lately. And so this is going to be, this is me kind of trying to scoop myself towards that and being patient and sticking to what I said the release date was going to be. So Friday, January 29th. So the way that I'm going to frame this pre-release thoughts video is I'm going to do 5 things to know about maybe next time. You guys may have seen my previous one that I did for this. I did something like this for behind the scenes. I should have done it for the Roses books. But the first time I did it was for behind the scenes, and I really liked doing it. And I ended up skipping, but here we are. We're back now. We're going to make it a thing. And so the first thing to know about maybe next time is the obvious. It's that it follows a married couple. And I'm not going to get too far into what their particular issue is, but it was it was crazy because through a lot of writing it, there were some kind of tough conversations happening in my own marriage. Nothing related to what Denver and Kenza are going through, like nothing at all like that, but just our own difficulties, as every marriage has. And so I remember mentioning to Love, how I hated that I was writing this at the time that I had, kind of my own stuff going on. And she was like, no, that's that's better. That's even more, you're going to be able to put even more heart into it. Like, you're going to be able to put even more feeling into it because you have, this experience that you're going to be able to draw from. That no, it's not exactly the same thing, but emotions are emotions, and you'll be able to draw from that and pull into the story. And so hopefully I was able to do that. Y'all will let me know. All right, thing number 2. I was able to have a little bit of fun with the locations. Again, if you read The Unbroken Rose, you've been introduced already to Kingston, to the Whitfield Resort that's out in California. We get to take another trip there, and then I'm not going to call them flashbacks necessarily, but we've definitely. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but let's just say that we get to see a few familiar places. I mean, I already told about Escape, but not just Escape. Like there's some other. We get to see them kind of go down memory lane a little bit to a few other familiar places within the whole CCJ universe. Number three, in addition to familiar places, we get to see some familiar faces as well. If you read the sample that I already shared for Maybe Next Time, then you know that there's there's a part in the book where Denver has a conversation with Kingston Whitfield. Back speaking of the Whitfields, so we see that conversation happen between them. It's not the only conversation that they have because Kingston and Denver are actually cousins. They're related through Angela Whitfield, who is Kingston's mother. So that was a nice little nod that I was able to put in. And then we see some other familiar faces as well. Some good to see them, and some maybe not so much. The fourth thing, or the fourth thing that I was gonna give for them, I actually realized is a pretty big spoiler, and so I'm gonna shift gears a little bit and say instead that Kensa, who is the heroine, she is the one who brings in the whole siblings aspect of this. I don't know if I talked or how much I talked about this before, but Kensa is actually a triplet. There's Kensa, who is the oldest of the three, Nessa, who is the middle child, and then there's Trace, who is actually their brother. He's the youngest of the triplets, and so we have two heroines and a hero that are going to go through the books. And I had something else I was going to say, but I'm not. I'm sorry. I know that's probably so annoying, but I really like to leave, like, there's so many like Easter eggs and stuff that I weave in that I want to leave them for you guys to get to discover. But I also want to talk about them so bad. But I'm I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna be good this time. I ain't gonna do it. And that brings us to our final item for this pre-release thoughts video. Number 5. Denver Benoit is very, very bae. And that is like, it's a little scary to me because Denver is, I don't want to say he's a scary guy. I will say that I can see why people other than his wife and people he loves would be afraid of him. And I fully realize that I'm saying this having shared a sample where I can't say that because some of you guys avoid samples, some of you guys don't read samples. But if you've read that sample, you know what Denver does in that sample, and you see that his wife is not surprised. She's not surprised by what he does, but I don't know, like in real life, like that would do nothing for me, like in real peer to peer interactions, but in fiction, yeah, y'all have to let me know what y'all think about Denver. Yeah, let me know. All right, guys. So that is all for my pre-release thoughts about Maybe Next Time. Again, that project is going to be released on January the 29th this year, which is exactly a week from today. This project will be available in KU. That is what I have in mind that I'm gonna do is novellas will be in KU, full length novels will not. We'll see how it goes. Do not hold me to that because we will see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I can say that Maybe Next Time will be in KU, and so if you're part of that program, you'll be able to read it through there. I do not have any plans right now to make it available in audio, and that's honestly mostly because the narrators are so completely booked. Like the narrators, all the narrators that I might typically use are so completely booked, and I just have not had the capacity, I guess, to take the time to look for new ones. But yeah, maybe in the future I might be able to move forward with something like that. But for now, like I'm my schedule, my audiobook schedule is honestly full for this year, and so it might take some time for any of my releases from this year to end up in audio. But speaking of audio, the Reinvention of the Rose audio is going to hit the other retailers on January 26th. Thank you so much to all of you guys who supported me through the Soundwise release almost a month back, but it's going to be on the other retailers. Like I said, the 26th of January, so that's like Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. And then on Valentine's Day is what I am considering. It's kind of what, is what is most prevalent in my mind for the audio release of Behind the Scenes. It's going to go just like the Reinvention of the Rose audio did. It'll be on Soundwise first, and then at a future date, it'll be able, you'll be able to get it on the other retailers. Unfinished, Strictly Professional and Unfinished Business on February 16th, March 16th. And then later in like late spring to summer, the Catch Me If You Can series, Jacoby and Wesley are doing the Strictly Professional series. Wesley and Leon Nixon are doing the If You Can series. I have a few under commission. I have the rest of the Rose books. They're out on commission, being recorded. They'll be available later. I have Love Notes and Anonymous Acts, and that's kind of all that I have on my plate for the year on the audiobook front, which I know none of that really has anything to do with maybe next time. So let's, how about I circle back around to what I'm supposed to be talking about? I think that's it though. I think that's it. I am really looking forward to hearing you guys' thoughts about the novella. It is a novella. Like I said, it'll be available on KU. I'm trying to think if there's anything else of any other little tidbits that I need to drop. We will have a few content warnings on this one. Content warnings for dealing with grief and loss. And I think that's it. I think that's all I can say without without spoiling too much. I really am supposed to start doing some post-release thoughts. And so I think once I do my after-release thoughts, I'll be able to get into it and say a little more. And you guys let me know how you guys feel about like book chats or me going live, etc., etc. Let me know about that. Speaking of going live, I actually have an Instagram live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, with Reading Room 444. And so if you happen to be on Instagram during that time, you'll be able to just like my little icon, like you don't have to do anything special or anything like that. You should be able to just tap my little icon, and if it's showing that I'm live, you'll be able to see it. If you want to swing through, we'll be talking about books and romance novels and everything in between. So if you feel inclined, feel free to swing through that. And I think that's it. Y'all know these gums can bump. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go here. And again, I truly hope that you guys enjoy the novella once it comes out.